I think on the whole, overall, really pleased. 5 days training, all the boys have never played together. And I think to get the group in together this week and get a little bit of training under our belt and put out performance like that, I think there was a lot of promising signs. Of course, there's lots of stuff we need to work on, we need to improve on. But for week one, if that's the bar we've set, I think we can be really happy with today's work, and it gives us a real good base now to kind of build off of that and add all the nice bits and add the improvements, and it gives us I would say a good start to move forward going into the rest of the pre-season.
Thank you, Coach. We're now going to open the room for questions. As per usual, please alert me through the chat. Raise your hand if you have a question for Coach. We're going to kick it off with Tim Sullivan from Clapham Country.
Hey, Jack, nice to meet you virtually, I guess. I noticed that there were a number of guys who played today signed to first team contracts with Nashville. How do you balance not obviously preseason is less important, but over the course of the season, your team's sporting objectives with kind of the broader sporting objectives of the organization?
Yeah, really good question. I think just having an awareness of our position and our role. We're really blessed that we're going to have lots of talented players in one squad, in one roster. And so we're going to have some of the academy prospects. You got to see a little bit today, Eli and Carrillo. Obviously, Huntsville players are going to be there for the bulk of the season. And then for us, we need to understand that we are there to support the first team. And there will be times when players may be dropping down the day before the game, the day of the game. And it's up to us to find a way to support them and give them the opportunity and the minutes they need. But what we will get, I think, is a real good relationship with Nashville, which we've had so far. I think you can see the boys who come down and play today have been with the first team for pre-season, brought the same things that Gary wants: hard work, enthusiasm, and obviously these kids have got lots of abilities. So it's important we build them and give them the platform they need to perform, so eventually they can make the jump and hopefully start affecting Gary's team over at Nashville.
Team, if you have any follow-up questions, go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned just 5 days, I think, training before the friendly today. What have you seen out of your team so far in those days, and what do you feel like you need to kind of get under your belts? What do you think you need to accomplish before you're ready to play in competitive matches?
Yeah, lots of work to do, but lots of promising signs. I think you look at some of the stuff that we worked on this week is trying to find that structure in terms of how we build, how we move in possession from the back. And I think in our back half there was lots of good stuff. Now look, some of the decision making at times wasn't quite there, but it's week one, so over the coming weeks hopefully decision making will be a bit better, and slowly throughout pre-season we'll start moving further and further up the pitch, so to the middle third, and obviously the final third. The hardest thing to do ultimately is stick the ball in the back of the goal, which we weren't able to do today. We got close on a couple of occasions, but I think the longer pre-season goes on, hopefully towards the end of it you're going to see a real potent attack and a real threat from all areas of the pitch, because we've got some really talented boys in them attacking areas.
We are going to transition to Ben Wright with Broadway Sports. Ben, go ahead with multiple questions if you have them.
Yeah, Jack, good to talk to you. You've already kind of talked a little bit about your role kind of in the larger organization, but I'm just curious what you would say stylistically you're looking to bring on the field and kind of how you want to set your teams up to play.
I think we want a team that really, I've said it a lot, a team that really sort of represents where we are and obviously represents Huntsville. It's a young, enthusiastic team, and I think you saw glimpses of that today. Physically, we probably weren't able to maintain it for large enough periods as we would like to, but you could see when they did recognise the trigger of when we could press and be really aggressive and try and go and commit numbers forward and win the ball forward. That's what we want to see evident throughout for a 90-minute match. In possession, hopefully you're going to see the tempo and the quality and the speed improve and get a bit quicker. And as I touched on in the last question, we want to be an attacking threat as well and commit numbers forward. And I think a couple of reasons. One, fitness-wise, and two, it's their first game in pre-season. So some of them were probably just dusting off the cobwebs and finding their feet a little bit better. So we've still got a lot of games left that we're going to obviously attack, and we're going to have certain aspects where we're going to look to improve. But for game one, for week one, I'm really happy on the whole with the work the group have put in.
And then just one more from me. Obviously, throughout your career, you've had plenty of experience with just academies and working with young players. What kind of excites you about Nashville's academy and even the current group of players that you've been working with?
Yeah, I think wherever I go as a coach, I'm always going to have an emphasis and a focus on developing people and developing players. And I'm in such a blessed position here that I get to work with talented players with lots of potential. And for myself and our coaches and the support group around it is, how do we help these guys to flourish? Individually, we want them all to be in a position where they can be effective, they can play games, they can be successful. And if we can get it right individually, we know collectively we're going to be a tough group and a tough unit to beat, because it's no hidden secret. We want to be successful at Huntsville. We want to pack the stadium. We want to win games of football. And I think if we've got young, happy men who are playing to near the top of their potential, I think we're going to have a really good team this year.
I appreciate you taking the time, Coach, and everybody else for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you later this week on Sana Nashville SC preseason media availability. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks so much. Have a good one, guys.